It's time for a brand new episode of the Bakery Bears video show.
This is our lifestyle show featuring craft, baking, and a little bit of history.
We've got lots of projects to show and one of our special series to share.
What will we feature this time, and which of our projects will be our favourite?
Let's get on with the show and find out.
Welcome, everybody, to the Bakery Bears video show. And yes, the decorations are up. Because, of course...
Can you see them? I was worried you can't
Halloween.
really see them. Look, we've got some Halloween tinsel, which is cool, and some Halloween bunting, and there's some little pumpkins over there somewhere.
And yes, I
don't know if you
made
can
this
see
bunting
them.
with my own fair hands.
No, you didn't.
It's so disappointing, isn't it?
We bought it from the range.
Those days are gone. I mean...
We never go in the range, but we thought it's the place to go for Halloweeny stuff.
And as we're buying it, the man shamed us. He said,
did, yeah.
When I was young, we used to make this with, bits of cardboard and stuff. We're like, all right, fine.
Okay.
I tell you what, keep it. We'll go home and make it ourselves.
Yeah.
I mean, can you believe it? But
Yeah.
yes, it is, of course, Halloween.
Happy Halloween if you're celebrating, everyone. If you're going out trick-or-treating with your kiddywinks or having parties.
Don't worry, though, if you're not, because we aren't.
No, we're not.
So, yes, Halloween is upon us. And can you believe it? So is the end of the story of Holy Island.
Oh, yes.
I can't believe it. It seems like 2 minutes ago that this series started. But it seems like a lifetime ago that Kay and I filmed it.
I know, it really does.
What a spectacular series it's been. And it's a wonderful episode that we finished with because, yes, I am joined by...
I'm on it a bit.
You are indeed.
I think we have a beer on the beach.
You have to have a celebratory drink. It's a wrap party.
Yes.
Yes, but this is one of those moments. I mean, I certainly hope it ends up being one of those moments. If you look back through our history, this obviously became our job way back in 2015, and we immediately tried to step up our game a little bit. And the first thing that we did to step up our game was Knit or Forfeit.
Was it
That was our first new series after, this became our job.
Wow.
Yes. From there, of course, along came New Adventures. And Kay and I were talking on our Patreon exclusive show just the other day about the trailer that sort of launched that. We were sat on a seat and there was a camera. Some people will remember it, and it was panning backwards.
Yeah.
And then it launched into the New Adventures trailer. And then from there, it was my favourite colourways. And then it was Walking the Wall. And the list sort of goes on. And today, with the end of the story of Holy Island, there is a brand new trailer for what's coming next year. And it's something completely new. It's a whole new branch of content.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Beginning in January next year. And you will find out all about it later on in the show. But that is just the start of the fun, because, of course, later on in the show, we will be showing you the favourite project we're working on right now in our pick of the projects. We will also have a couple of amazing What's Off Your Needles, very seasonal.
Very seasonal, very seasonal.
Yes. Very exciting. Of course, we will be sharing what's on our needles as well.
Yeah.
But there's something very, very cool to tell you.
Yes.
And I shall now hand over to my co-host, Mrs. Kay Jones.
Well, thank you very much. I don't often get my full name like that. Dan sometimes calls me Kay.
No,
I know.
once.
Occasionally.
In the last 6 months.
Yeah, occasionally when he sort of shouts at me or whatever, he'll shout my name, and it's very odd, and I tell him I don't like it.
She prefers woman.
Yeah, oi.
Woman!
No, Dan normally calls me like honey or, something like that. It was very odd, and I told him I don't like it. And he uses
Olivia, what's going on here?
Yeah,
We put in a hard morning's work.
Oh, gosh,
and all we expect is the dinner on the table.
Why are you quoting the Waltons?
I don't know why. It made me think of that when I was saying woman.
Dan's favourite scene on the Waltons is when John and his dad have been out working all morning in the mill, and he comes in for his lunch and there's nothing on the table, and he goes nuts at Olivia.
Ballistic.
He goes crazy. One of their children has run off, so Olivia's obviously been dealing with that, the poor woman. And then
it's not even a full day's work.
No,
it's a morning's work. Why isn't my lunch on the table? He's like bashing the table. Oh, I love it. Now, look, I've digressed.
Yes,
there is
digress to the
something
Waltons.
amazing to tell you.
Yes, the amazing thing to tell you is that the crochet jelly roll pattern is now published and available to purchase.
Can you believe it? And look at these pictures.
The crochet jelly roll, it is out there now, so you can go and you can purchase this pattern on Ravelry and on Lovecrafts if you would like to do that. So we've obviously got the new crocheted one right here, which I've shown you several times recently, but I've also pulled out the knitted one.
The inspiration for all of it.
That's right. So this is my knitted jelly roll blanket. Showing you the wrong side. This one I published in 2021, so 4 years ago, wasn't it? Gosh, wow. I mean, time just goes so quickly.
Thinking about how your design process works, though, I mean, it must have been on the go in 2020 in your mind.
Oh, it will. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm sure it was, because it took me quite some time, actually, to knit it, because I wanted to knit a full-size one. This one, the knitted one, is just fingering weight held singly. The crochet jelly roll is fingering weight held double. So that's the first difference, I guess. The main difference is this is knitted and the other one's crocheted, obviously. But yeah, that's just another difference. But yeah, I wanted to show you both of them because we have mentioned before that in January we're going to be doing a knit-along, a Jelly Roll January knit-along. So I thought it's fun just to have a little recap. So if you've got a knitted one on the go, pull it out in January and you can join in with us. Whips are absolutely acceptable. It doesn't matter what stage you're at. If you've only got the border to do, come and join us in January and get your border done. But a few people have actually asked me, you know, where the jelly roll thing comes from.
Of course, they can do the crochet jelly roll in January too.
Yes, of course you can. It's Jelly Roll January. You can do any of the...
It's only because you said knit along, that's all that.
Oh, I am sorry.
No, it's fine.
I'm just so used to saying knit along. It's a
make along.
It's a make along. It's a knit along stroke crochet along, so we're going to call it a make along. Okay, so it's the Jelly Roll make along. It was actually a family member recently because I'd sent her, she'd just started crocheting in the last year and she saw pictures of the crochet jelly roll on my Instagram and was like, oh, you know, she texted me saying, oh my gosh, when I really want to do this. So I sent her the pattern. I said, look, it's ready. You know, this was a week or so ago. I'll just send it to you. So she's been starting hers and that's been really cool. But she actually asked me, she said, why is it called Jelly Roll? Because she's not a quilter and that's where it comes from. I've actually got here a jelly roll of fabric. So all of you quilters out there will know, I'm sure, about jelly rolls of fabric. This one is a lovely one by Moda and the fabric range is called Hey Boo, so it's like a sort of Halloween-y, autumnal themed one. And basically what this is big long strips that are 2.5 inches wide. I don't know how long they are, but they're really long, aren't they? And you can basically make quilts out of this. I know that the one that sort of inspired my blankets is where you just basically sew these together in strips. So that's where my inspiration came from. I saw one of these quilts and I was like, I wonder if I could knit a version of that quilt. That's where the whole jelly roll theme came from. So I just really wanted to touch on that because I'd been asked a few times. So yeah, the pattern is out now. You know, you can start it straight away if you want to, or you can hold off for January, entirely up to you, and just join in January. But the pattern is there and available if you would like to purchase it. Amazing. It's fully written, it's in UK terminology and US terminology, so it uses both. The way the pattern works is the first section of it, so the first half of it is all using UK terminology. And then the second half is all using US terminology. So you can, if you're printing it, you just need to print the relevant portion for you. If you're just reading it on a screen, then you just skip to the terminology that you're familiar with. There's photo tutorials in there for parts of it. And then there's also 9 video tutorials for every single bit of the whole process. So I think, even though I think it's good to have a basic knowledge of crochet before you start this, there's all the videos are there and it walks you through. So I've had a couple of people test it who haven't, one of them hadn't crocheted for ages and another one was a very new crocheter. So I think that's been good information for me to sort of gain. So I think, what I'm saying is, if you've only done a bit of crochet and you know kind of basic stitches and you know how to hold your hook and that sort of a thing, you can definitely give it a go.
Amazing.
Yes.
What a start. Oh my goodness. Halloween.
I
a whole
know.
new strand of content coming your way.
Wow.
You'll find out more later in the show. And the crochet jelly roll is launched.
It's all too much.
So to continue on with that excitement, I think I should ask Kay Jones, what's on your needles?
My first project is a new thing on my needles, and I've started pulling out the sort of slightly Christmassy, festive-y bags.
Wow, that is a hint of Christmas on there.
Yeah, it's only a hint of Christmas on this one. So I've pulled out a bag that I've had for a few years, actually, by Alex Collins.
Looks like Alaska.
It does a bit, doesn't it? And if you don't know Alex, she designs and prints her own fabric and then makes them into bags, which I just think is amazing. This one's like a forest with a little gold, some of the trees are sort of gold sparkly, and then occasionally you'll get a little log cabin. There's one here. In my lovely Alex Collins bag, I have got a hat.
Who's it for?
It's for you.
Woo. I can't wait to finish this.
Well, I think I'll have it done quick, to be fair.
Oh.
So I've knit down a couple of times little running hats, and they've just been fingering weight, really simple, plain stocking stitch hats, and they're both looking, one of them is extremely worn, but I've got them here. They're both looking really worn because you wear these all the time, don't you?
Yeah.
And they're washed basically every time he goes for a run because it gets all sweaty and blah. So they go in the washer every single time. So these are a few years old now. So these are the two that he's been using. This one is a hand-dyed yarn, and I can't remember the dyer. It was years ago, but it's the Boba Fett colourway.
Yeah.
But look at the state of it now. It's completely lost all of its kind of memory. It doesn't bounce back or anything like that. There's no holes, to be fair.
No. And it still does the job.
And it still does the job. And then this one is a bit more recent. This was an opal yarn. But equally, this one has kind of lost its grip and it's just quite drapey now. There's no holes. It's absolutely fine. And these, honestly, I can't tell you how many times these have been washed. It's just ridiculous, the number of times. And to say this one was a hand-dyed yarn, it's fared extremely well. And I wish I could remember. I did knit it here on the show, but it's years ago. But it has fared extremely well, but look how bobbly it is. So I thought it was time for a new running hat for Dan. And in my stash, I've got quite a lot of moustache yarn, self-striping in the Star Wars colourways that she did. And I've actually knit socks for Dan out of this exact colourway, and I bought another skein because it's his favourite. And it's the Bounty Hunter colourway, which of course is Boba Fett. These come in, it's 100 grams, and it comes in two 50-gram skeins. So I've just wound one of the 50-gram skeins because it's going to be enough for the hat. So I've still got 50 grams left that's still in a lovely little skein. So I'm just going to keep hold of that one. There'll be enough there for a little pair of short socks maybe for Bryony. If I use a contrast for cuff seals and toes, there'll be plenty there.
Oh, she'd love that.
She would love that, yeah, so I think I might do that. But here is the hat. So I only started this yesterday late afternoon, and so far I've done the rib and I've just started on the body of the hat, and I think it's knitting up absolutely
It's gorgeous.
brilliantly. So if you're ever wondering what to do with all of those self-stripings, I think making a little hat is a brilliant idea, because sometimes you'll have 50 grams left, won't you, from a skein of sock yarn, if you've made a smaller size or done shorties like I like to do shorties. You'll no doubt have 50 grams left, which is going to be plenty for a hat. You've got all that left. I mean, gosh. I bet I've only knitted 10 grams or something so far. So I did 20 rounds of knit 2 purl 2, and now I'm just knitting stocking stitch. So I'm using, I've not used a pattern for this. God, it took me ages. I knew that I'd made notes somewhere, right, for this
But
hat.
you couldn't find them, could you?
I couldn't find them, but I did eventually find them. But actually, I'm doing it slightly different size anyway. Isn't that typical? Because these ones, I cast on 136 stitches using a 3mm needle. And although they fit absolutely fine, I just thought maybe I'll cast on a few extra stitches this time. I guess I wanted to avoid it overstretching. I think I figured if it was a little bit bigger, it might not stretch quite so much and it might maintain a bit more of that kind of bounce back. But who knows? In any case, these ones were 136 stitches and I've just done like a swirl decrease. You can't really see it because the hats are so old, but you know, like when it swirls like that. So you just do like knit a certain number, knit 2 together, knit a certain number, knit 2 together, and then the number that you knit decreases down each time you do a decrease round. You know what I mean? It's that kind of swirly decrease. So this time I cast on 144, which might seem enormously big for a hat. It's fingering weight, obviously. 3mm again. But Dan does have a larger head, so I've got no worries that this is going to be too big. I can't imagine a hat ever being too big for you. Have we ever come across that?
No.
No. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. You know, so it was so quick. It's knitting up so quick. And it's such a pleasant little knit. And perfect with these moustache colourways. Stacey, isn't it? She's brilliant because it's not just like a plain stripe. She does do ones like that, but quite often, and particularly for the Star Wars ones, they'll be like this where you get a bigger section of one colour and then skinny stripes of another. So the fact that you're getting those bigger sections means that on this larger circumference, you still get the effect. It's really cool, I think. And we've just got a bit of the red as well from his... which I think,
Armour, Kay.
Armour. I do apologise, from his armour coming through. So I did make a note of how many rounds I knitted on one of these, and I can always count my rounds just to be sure. So I will do the same amount again, and then I can check the length just to make sure, because these are the right length, aren't they? Yeah. And then I'll just... the decreases, because I've cast on 8 more, it just means there'll be 1 more decrease round, but that'll be
Because
fine.
whilst a hat could never be too big,
it could be too
long.
You don't like them too long when you're running, do you?
I don't like them too long when I'm not running.
So it's a lovely little knit and very enjoyable just to have a quick hat on the needles, and I think it's a brilliant use of leftover sock yarn as well. So Dan Jones,
Yes.
What's on your needles?
It's my scarf art. This is a gorgeous jumper. It's another one with the Let Lopey.
Yes.
I'm knitting this using Chowgu circulars. I think they're size 7, 4.5 mils.
Where did you pull that information from?
Well, they are.
You never know that. If you've looked that up, you would never know that a size 7 is 4.5. How did you find that out? Does it say it on the needle?
I don't know.
Okay. Just being clever, isn't he?
If people rewind, they'll know how I found it.
Was he looking at the needles?
Being prepared. Always be prepared. Yes.
Yes.
Really enjoy knitting this. Love the colour. It's very steel woolly, though.
Oh, it is.
I mean, it really is quite sort of... This feels rough. Maybe it's because it's not been washed and blocked yet. Now, I'm not complaining about that. I don't have a problem with rough yarn.
I mean, some colours, I guess. You say some colours are different to others. I suppose
This
maybe...
is quite robust. It's got a nice bit of strength to it.
I mean, a darker colour has got more dye in there, so maybe, I don't know. Or maybe it's a different, it's obviously a different batch of wool from different sheep. They'll all be different, won't they? Just like we are all different, so... Yeah.
Well, it is my favourite. I mean, it's so funny because in any other circumstance, I wouldn't enjoy plain knitting. But on the body of a jumper, using that Lopi is absolutely my favourite. It's just so much fun because you're seeing the textures come out in the yarn. And as well, there's a real joy for me in knowing that I'm going to be wearing it and loving it and enjoying it, you know, in well, I won't say no time at all, but it...
Well, next year. This
feels
time
quite quick.
time next year, maybe.
Yes. I shall be enjoying every moment.
It's very autumnal. We said that yesterday, didn't we? It looked very autumnal.
The colours are just great. And that's what drew me to this pattern, definitely.
I think it's that touch of copper at the bottom, which was
but the blue too.
Yeah, the blue. You don't often think of blue as an autumnal colour, do you? But actually this one I think is. But this coppery colour is the one that we had to hunt down, didn't we? Yeah. So couldn't find it. But look at that.
It's so worth it.
Yeah, it's the colours. Have you got the pattern there?
No.
All right. It's the exact colours from the pattern, the scarf are. So if you have a look at it, it'll quote what the shades are. But it's very gorgeous, that coppery red squirrel sort of colour, isn't it?
But then I love that blue too.
I love that blue too, yeah.
And you see, that feels softer than that darker blue.
That's black.
Feel the difference.
There is definitely a difference.
It's really fascinating. It's another thing which I love about this yarn. The fact
there is a difference.
That each time you knit with it, that there's a real textural difference. And as well, you know, the other thing,
there is.
If you are new to it, you do need to be wary of the strength of the yarn because it is very easy to break. But again, this blue one is strong.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I mean, it is very... if I just do this and show you. So here's the yarn, and it literally pulls apart like that. You know, which, it means on one hand, it's brilliant for split splicing.
Yeah.
You know, it will rub together in no time, but then on the other hand, you do have to be a little bit more careful with it when you're knitting,
I do love the whole being able to... Oh, how funny was it, though? Last night, I was knitting on the other project, which I'm going to show you in a minute, knitting on the Roosty.
Oh, yeah.
And I asked you for a pair of scissors to cut my yarn. Okay, just said pull it, and I'd forgotten that would just pull apart. Because that one as well, I think, is good at split splicing.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, not that I've really needed to on that because it's so bitty.
No.
Crazy.
These ends are ridiculously long, actually. I'm just going to pull that off.
There's going to be yarn everywhere. So yes, that's my scarf art. Gorgeous, that Lopi yarn.
Gorgeous colours.
And yeah, the needles are perfect.
I think I'll look forward to seeing that one on you.
Yeah. What else is on your needles?
Okay. Ah, yes. Dan is correct in that because my next project is a crochet jelly roll blanket. So I showed you this last time, but I've made a bit of progress and I wanted to show it you again because of the launch of the pattern. And this one I'm making now is kind of a different iteration, if you like, a different way of using your yarn. And I have started a new strip. So I was only on the second strip of this when I showed you last time, and I'm now on the third. I was on this the gorgeous green strip before, and I've finished that one, and I'm now adding in this lovely sort of purpley grey. So what I'm doing with this version, as you can see, is I'm just using one yarn for the whole strip. So I'm taking a 100-gram skein of fingering weight yarn, I'm splitting it into 2 50 grams, and then I'm holding those double and using it for the entire strip. And I'm not using the whole thing, I do have a little bit left over. I think I'm using about 85 grams for each strip. It's a little bit more than I used for the original one. I think that's mainly because these skeins, when I weighed them at the beginning, they do weigh quite heavy. The one that I'm working with now is about 108 grams, but the green before it, when I weighed it, was like 110 grams, which is amazing, isn't it? So yeah, I think I'm using about 85 grams of each. And so far, all of the yarn that I've been putting in is pixie yarn, because I had loads of her autumnal themed colourways, because I want this blanket to be all beautifully autumnal and all of those kind of walking through crispy leaves vibes. And I think it's just looking absolutely lovely. So I've started using this one now. This one I'm using is a one-of-a-kind called Mystical Forest. So I don't know if this is still in the shop. The only thing with this colour is it is bleeding off on my fingers a little bit. You know, I've only done this amount, but when I finished this little bit, I noticed I got a line over my finger here, do you know, where the yarn comes over, and also on this finger here where it was used, you know, where you're working it with the hook. So I suspect it's maybe the purple in there that's not fully set. And I did think to myself, oh, should I pull that out and use a different yarn? But I decided not to, because I just thought blankets don't get washed too often, do they? But when it comes to washing it, what I can always do is stick in a bit of citric acid if I'm worried about anything bleeding. And I don't think it'd be too bad. I mean, there was definitely a line on my finger, but it wasn't really dark or anything. So I think it's just that purple is quite heavily saturated, and it maybe just wasn't quite fully set. But so I'm just going with it.
Can I just ask?
Yeah.
If you were to do that with the citric acid in it when you wash it, would that mean then that the next time that you wouldn't need to do it? Would that help set it more?
Yeah, well, I would hope so. I mean, I'm not going to be obviously heating it up to the temperature that you would heat it up when you dye yarn. And, you know, so, I mean, when you dye yarn, the citric acid is the mordant that basically means that the dye then permanently adheres to the yarn. And if you don't either, you know, sometimes no matter what you do, if you have like a really dark red or something, or really dark blue, or in this case dark purple, sometimes it's very difficult to wash out all of that dye, you know, to stop it bleeding when it's a really saturated colour. For me, I find that if I get the temperature right and I get the amount of citric acid right, then generally speaking, you should be okay. It's really only those very saturated colours. Reds are notorious for bleeding. But pretty much everything else, I think, should be fine. But I would hope that, you know, because I'm not, like I say, I wouldn't wash this really hot, but putting in a bit of citric acid might just stop it from bleeding too much. You know, it might just give it that little bit of a boost to get the colours to set a bit more. But I'm really enjoying this, and it is, I think the reason I wanted to try it this way, you can see, I know I'm only on the third strip, but I think you can kind of get the idea on what this is going to look like.
I think it changes the vibe completely.
I think it does change it completely. I know that not everyone enjoys that kind of very scrappy look to something, and they prefer something a bit more cohesive and a bit simpler. And
ordered.
Yeah, and a bit more ordered. So that's why I wanted to give this a go and just see what it looked like. And I think it's absolutely lovely. And when it comes to the border, I'm going to choose like a really dark brown, because I think that will set off all of the colours really nicely. So yeah, at the moment, like I said, this is all pixie yarn. The first one was called Mother Nature. I remember that. And then this green was Silky Wool Feather Moss, which is a lovely green. It's that kind of mossy, pondish sort of green. I really love it. So I'm really thoroughly enjoying working this again. And in fact, when the green strip, I said to Dan one night, when I picked it up, it was probably down here. And then I'd finished it that evening. We just finished watching The Gilded Age, actually, which was brilliant. And I'd finished that whole strip in about, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half. So it is really quick, and it's quick, it's relaxing, it's satisfying, and really pretty, I think, and neat. Oh, I love how neat it is. I'll show you the back here because you can see it quite clearly, because these two colours are quite contrasty. Can you see that on the back there? So it's completely flat. There's no seams at all with this one. The knitted jelly roll does have a seam purposely. That seam is there as a decorative feature, so it does have a seam down the front. But this one is completely seamless, front and back. It's completely smooth. So that's another little difference, I guess. So yeah, I'm working away on this very happily. in all the beautiful autumnal colours.
Cool! In the summer of 2025, we began our 5-episode exploration of a place which has become very close to our hearts. The story of Holy Island has seen us uncover the history of Lindisfarne, which is, for those of you who have watched the series all the way through, you'll know that it is a tidal island off the coast of Northumberland, just up the coast from here. Today it's time for the final episode, and we're going to go out in rather perfect fashion because, yes, I am joined by a very special guest. This is the final part of the story of Holy Island. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our most adventurous series yet. In case you didn't know, I love history. I sort of grew up with it, really, going to school in York and living in a village on its outskirts. So I suppose when Back to the Future came out, it was pretty obvious that I was going to love it, because for me, learning about history was like travelling in time. The problem with history in the modern world is quite often you have to travel a bit to get to it. It used to do my head in when I was young. We'd go visit a castle one week, then I'd have to wait until the week after for our next trip out before we might see an abbey or maybe a Neolithic monument.
Well, how stupid do you think I felt when I realised that there's a place where it's all within walking distance?
From an absolutely spectacular Tudor castle with a history that spans hundreds of years, and it's got an interior that you won't believe it until you've seen it.
To a priory with a heritage that goes back to the very foundation of Christianity in the British Isles.
And what about the Paleozoic era? That's 60 million years ago to you and me. On this beach, we will find evidence of even that. In this series, we're going to explore the history of an island that encapsulates the whole of the British Isles, but in a space that's 3 miles long and 2 miles wide. This is going to be absolutely spectacular. Welcome to my story of Holy Island.
Welcome back to Lindisfarne, everyone, and the final part of my story of Holy Island. In this series, we've been charting the history of this spectacular place, from its earliest mentions in the history books right up to the construction of some of its most iconic landmarks. Our story started at this disused Coast Guard lookout tower. From here, we looked across the North Sea and we discovered the story of King Urien, the last great Romano-British king. His death just off the island triggered the start of the Anglo-Saxon period in Britain. We visited the island's priory and found out all about St Aidan and St Cuthbert, Anglo-Saxon monks who would help empower a true golden era for the island and for all of Britain. We took a walk along the east coast of the island and we told the story of the Vikings, dispelling some popular myths along the way. We saw how their arrival, first here and then in the British Isles, changed the face of Great Britain forever. Finally, we saw how monastic life returned to the island thanks to the Benedictines. And we did, of course, also visit the gorgeous castle. It was built by Elizabeth I and it was once absolutely bristling with cannon. As the 18th century ended, it was transformed into a unique home for the founder of Country Life magazine. What an outstanding history for such a small place. The one remaining question I have is, though, is its story all in the past? Or is it still being written? That's what I want to try and find out on one final walk around this absolutely wonderful place. We're going to take a look at some of the hot spots today with the tourists, and we're also going to visit its oldest building that's still in use. And finally, we're going to meet up with my wonderful wife Kay on the beach at the end of the series for a celebratory drink. This is going to be quite the episode. I think it's time that we got going. Life in modern-day Lindisfarne is most definitely focused around the village. It's home today to around 150 permanent residents, so it really is rather small. But it wasn't always that way. The village we see today grew up around the Norman Priory. They really were the main employer on the island, and people flocked here from all over to fill the many jobs that were available, from fisherman to coal miner. After the dissolution, the village really was at its lowest ebb. But over the next 200 years, it really got back on its feet. Lindisfarne always attracted tourists, and in 1794 a visitor to the island observed, "The village consists of a few irregular houses. 2 or more are inns, 1 is a farm, and the rest are inhabited by fishermen. In the winter season, they catch lobsters, which are sent in great quantities to London. In the summer, they catch cod and haddocks, which are abound on the coast." 60 years later, Walter White, No, not the one from Breaking Bad, was hiking around Britain, and he was writing a book as he travelled. And this is what he wrote about Lindisfarne. The square is bestrewn with unsavoury rubbish, and the condition of the streets implies that public cleanliness has not yet grown to be a habit. We saw the town under its busy aspect preparing for the herring fishery, nets lay in heaps while men and boys untangled their mazy folds. We passed the beach where the boats came in and saw the huge wooden vat where women stand to clean the herrings. Walter White's words give us a real insight into what Lindisfarne was like in 1845. He tells us that at the time the population was 908, and it also is portrayed as very much a bit of a frontier town with lots of rough and ready fishermen. As the 19th century wore on, the village behind me was at its height. The fishing industry was absolutely booming. Great catches of herring were being landed daily, and there's even an old house which I can see just over on the horizon there called the Herring House, where all those fish used to be processed. But the Industrial Revolution was calling, and evidence of that can be found not far from Lindisfarne Castle. Now, you would think that the building behind me would be connected perhaps to the priory or maybe the castle, but it isn't. These are much more recent. This is all that remains of the last great industry to really capture the population of Lindisfarne and to be the major employer, because these are actually lime kilns. As the 19th century drew to a close, the population of Great Britain was booming. Society needed mortar to build houses and fertiliser to help grow crops to feed the population. A key ingredient of that was lime, which was now needed on an industrial scale. Conveniently for the people of Lindisfarne, it could be found in huge quantities within the surrounding landscape. So it was quarried on the other side of the island, then it was brought here on horse and cart. And in here, there would have been great fires, roasting the lime. At its height, the industry was huge. There was 5 massive ships constantly moving backwards and forwards between Lindisfarne and Dundee up in Scotland. But it was a short-lived boom. The arrival of the railways spelt an end to the lime roasting industry here on Lindisfarne. Railways were substantially cheaper and considerably quicker to use than ships, so lime kilns like this one closed as quickly as they'd opened. From this moment on, the production of lime would take place near mainland railway stations. As this last great industry moved away from Lindisfarne, many of the population moved with it in search of the only jobs they knew. Lindisfarne would now become reliant on the one thing that had been constant since the work of those Benedictines nearly 900 years before, because they'd marketed their priory so well that it had become a tourist hotspot. And now in those later years, it was particularly the Victorians, they absolutely flocked here. And it was thanks to them coming here that, of course, Country Life's founder purchased the castle, and he also decided to install a garden. It was designed by the foremost garden designer of the day, and that was, of course, Gertrude Jekyll. And nearly 100 years after it was first planted, it's still thriving. And I think we should go and have a little look around. Gertrude Jekyll's garden was created in the old castle grounds once used to grow vegetables for the troops stationed here. It would therefore once have provided food for old Captain Rugg, who we met in the last episode of the series. But how was the garden created? Well, first Jekyll rebuilt the walls and laid the paving. Then she planted out the garden itself. She wanted to create a garden which would thrive in the summer when the castle was most used by its owner. Gertrude Jekyll made use of silvery grey foliage to echo the stone and draw the light. She provided splashes of colour, especially in July and August from the side borders. She planted many of her favourites, including the dark red shrub rose Hugh Dixon and the extremely rare Killarney rose. The garden today is visited by thousands of visitors every year. Gertrude Jekyll's original planting scheme was actually restored by the National Trust, who look after the castle and the garden, in 2003. With its geometric layout of paths and beds, the garden is always interesting to look around. The combination of hardy annuals, colourful perennials and wonderful vegetables provide glorious sights and scents in the summer and a leafy sheltered oasis all year round. What an absolutely wonderful place. It's a splash of colour in what's quite it's not bleak, but it's quite barren. There's not a lot of foliage around, not a lot of trees, because it's so windy here. That, I think, is a real testament to the work done by Edwin Lutyens and Gertrude Jekyll, because I think that complements the interiors that we saw in the castle so well. And it is also testament to their amazing work that to this day, that garden and the castle are a total highlight for anyone who comes to visit Lindisfarne. Tourism has become the industry that now sustains Lindisfarne, and I think it's poetic that they come because of that island's incredible history. The work of Aidan and Cuthbert and all who came after continues to feed the future of this holy island. And speaking of feeding, I've got a little treat in store for you and for me, because I've arranged to meet my wife Kay up ahead on one of Lindisfarne's most spectacular beaches, and she's brought for us a gorgeous picnic lunch. My goodness, what a perfect spot you found.
I know, isn't it beautiful?
Where are we?
On a beach called Sandham Bay.
Beautiful. Oh,
which we didn't know about, did we, till last night?
We didn't. Yeah, we happened to run by some ladies, didn't we, who were looking for Sandham Bay.
They were looking for Sandham Bay.
So we thought...
And we were like, we don't know. We were going to go to Coeshaven Beach, which is just round there, around that headland. Yeah. Because we went there, didn't we, on the first day, and it was lovely. Yeah. And we thought, well, let's try and find this beach that they wanted to get to, and it's absolutely beautiful.
I mean, it's bordering on desert island.
It really, it really is. There's driftwood and seaweed and birds singing, and we've seen seals, and, you know, it's just amazing. So what have you been up to this morning?
Well, took a walk through the village, learned all about the sort of fishing trade, and also that the village used to be a bit rough.
A bit rough?
Yes.
Right.
With all the sort of... It's painted as like a frontier town, you know, in like cowboy times, where, you know, there was loads, I think there was 9 or 10 pubs, 900 people living here, and you had to be fairly tough to survive. And I can sort of can understand it in a way, because it is quite a...
Yeah, I mean,
without the connections to land.
No, and I think you've got a lot of weather to contend with.
Yeah,
apart from the fact that you're cut off twice a day.
Yeah.
But I would imagine the weather does get quite
Yeah,
interesting
terrible. Yeah.
here. Yeah.
So I think you brought us something lovely to eat, which is
I
going
brought
to be
us a
rather
bit of
nice.
a picnic.
Oh my goodness.
We've got some lovely sandwiches.
Yes.
I've got some of my favourite pickle actually. It's beetroot and horseradish, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So we've got cheese and beetroot pickle
Gorgeous.
sandwiches.
Sounds good.
We've got a lovely packet of crisps. Actually, I say crisps, they are hummus crisps from Marks and Spencer's.
Yes. Whilst we enjoy that, because you don't want to sit and watch us eat, you guys head off for a little break, and I'll see you later on in the show with more of the story of Holy Island.
What a perfect spot for a picnic.
Yes.
And how lovely to see you there too.
Thank you.
Oh yes, gorgeous sand and bay.
Thank you for inviting me.
But what about the garden though? The Gertrude Jekyll garden.
It's a beautiful garden.
It's so weird, isn't it? Because
It's so weird.
it's in the middle of nowhere and nothing.
Yeah, I mean, you will have seen. It's just this square in the middle of a field.
If
and
ever you could
it's-
call something an oasis, that is it.
Yeah, yeah. And it's beautifully done. It's just gorgeous. I mean,
Yeah.
you saw. Yeah, it was really lovely.
It was such a really sort of tranquil place to go and visit. Part 2, though, absolutely amazing, because we're going to be exploring all the filming locations, including Time Team.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes, we should be walking in the footsteps of Phil Harding and,
Yeah,
and Mick Aston,
yeah.
which we watched while we were there filming.
We did.
Which is very
Yeah,
cool.
we did.
But also as well, 28 years later, no thanks, but yes, that was filmed there. And also lots of other films too. And then we'll finish off the episode by going to the oldest but still in action building on the island. I mean, completely amazing.
Yeah.
And of course then we'll meet Kay for a drink.
Yay!
Woo. Right now though, it's time for Kay to show you her pick of the projects.
Look at the projects. What's it going to be? So this is something actually that I've kind of pulled a little bit out of hibernation, and I almost, like, when I opened the bag, I was like, what's in that bag? We've all done that, haven't we? We've all done it. And I was like, oh, wow. Oh, yeah, that's brilliant. I want to work on that. So I've picked it back up, and I've actually almost finished it. It's not far off finished. And it's my Fairground Cowl. So I haven't shown this for ages, it feels like. And I've got just, I think, one more colour after this one to work into it. And it's just looking so pretty. So this cowl, you might remember it when I show it to you. I'll show you where I'm up to. Oh, look at that. Isn't that lovely? So what I've done with this cowl is I've taken the stitch pattern from my Fairground Socks, hence Fairground Cowl, and I've turned it into a cowl. So what I'm using to knit this is, it's 2 mini skein packs from Pixie Yarn again, and it's Sophie's club that she's running this year, the Roots Club. It was the first 2 packs from that. I haven't got them since actually, because I do have quite a lot of mini skeins now, and I didn't have a particular use in mind for them. But for this one, having these 2 packs available was just perfect. So that means I had 12 20-gram minis, and I'm turning them into this lovely cowl. So I'm using each of the minis in sequence. So the first 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so to here was the first pack. And then from there upwards was the second. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I've got one more to go, which I'll show you. And I've sort of contrasted them with a skein of yarn I dyed myself. This was like a birthday colourway for me this year that I dyed up. And it's just this gorgeous pale pink with tiny specks of, it's actually dusk. Do you know that? I use it a lot. It's a landscape dyes. It's called Dusk. It's like a lavenderish purple. Works brilliantly for speckles. When it's speckles, like just here, you won't be able to see it, but just here I can see there's like a hint of blue in it, and then you get that sort of dusky purple. It's really pretty and really great for speckling. So yeah, I'm using this pink, and I think, to be honest, using the pink was an absolute genius move by me.
Yeah.
I've got to say. So I just think it looks marvellous, that pink as a contrast. Just gorgeous. and it just is looking lovely. I know this might look really long for a cowl, and I've still got one more colour. This is the last colour actually that will be going in. It's this gorgeous kind of golden sandy colour with little speckles of other colours in. It's lovely. And then we'll have another rib at the other end, which is a broken rib I've done. It's a 2x2 broken rib. So yeah, I know it might look long, but what I've used as a guide is this cowl. I've shown this loads of times. This is one of my absolute favourite things that I've ever made. I'll be honest, I wear this all the time. I wash it generally every season. I'll get it out and wash it before I start wearing it again. This is the Philosopher's Cowl. That's a design from, gosh, I don't even know when. 16, 17, I don't even know. I can't even remember. But it's quite some time ago. And I dyed all of these yarns. They're all Harry Potter themed. And I used them in a kind of blendy way. And it's just a stocking stitch cowl with a really pretty rib. It's a broken rib again, but it's got a bit more going on than just a broken rib. It's difficult for you to see, but it's a bit more than a broken rib. And then you just blend one colour into the next. And within the pattern, it tells you when you're changing colours, you do it in a particular sort of sequence of stripes, and then that blends it really well. And I absolutely love this cowl. So I used this in terms of length. I used this as a guide, and the Fairground Cowl will actually even be just a little bit shorter than this one, so I know it'll be absolutely fine. So what I've decided to do actually for this cowl, when it's blocked, can you imagine what this is going to look like?
Spectacular.
I know. It's just such a lovely use of mini skeins, I feel. And I'm not using all of the yarn. There's loads left. These are some of the other ones. I'm using about 8 or 9 grams of each of the minis. So if you had 10 gram minis, they would work perfectly. But for me, this is great because these are all autumnal sort of colours for me. All of these are kind of autumnal, aren't they? So all of these can go into my Mited Square project, my 100 acre that I'm doing that's all autumnal. So yeah, I'm using about 8 or 9 grams of each of the minis, and then that contrast colour, which I'm not sure how much of this I'm going to use yet. I'll weigh this at the end and then I'll know how much I've used. But certainly, I don't know how much I've used. I've got that left of 100 grams. How much is that? That's maybe 65 grams I've got left, I'm not sure. So my plan for this actually is this design. I am going to write this up, but this will be a platinum design for June next year for our patrons. So if you're watching, lovely patrons, then you'll be getting this pattern on the 1st of June next year. I really love designing the platinum patterns, and they feel really special to me. So the platinum collection, if you don't know, is 4 designs that I put out through the year that's exclusive to our patrons. So they go out 1st of March, 1st of June, 1st of September, and then the 4th one is the Advent design, the mystery Advent design. And they always feel really special to me. And because I really loved knitting this one up, it just felt right. I'll sometimes just get a feeling, I really want that to be a platinum pattern. And that's the feeling I was getting with this one.
I think it's just an interesting point just to pause for a moment, because we had a message from someone recently.
Oh, yeah.
And they were frustrated that they couldn't buy the platinum patterns. Yes. And we just wanted to just pause for a moment to just say the reason. First of all, how many patterns have you released, Kay? Is it about 100?
No, on Ravelry, I think there's 91 or 92.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you've done 26, I think. Oh, no, it might be more than that. 26 or 27 platinum patterns. So if you look at the ratio there, the majority of the patterns that Kay has released have been available for you all to buy. Yeah. The reason why we make sure that the platinum patterns are always really special is because if we didn't have patrons, no one would be watching the show.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So whilst we appreciate totally that it might be frustrating if you're not a patron and you can't buy that, just stop for a moment and think, first of all, isn't it great when we watch the Bakery Bears, we never see any adverts? Mm-hmm. And also, isn't it great that we can watch it and it doesn't cost anything at all to watch? And isn't it great that there's all the other patterns to buy?
Yeah.
And we totally understand then that there are some that are very special ones that are released just to our patrons. And the other thing as well that I think, especially at this time of year, it's really important to say is, whilst the platinum patterns are only available to the most recent 4 platinum patterns are available to gold and platinum patrons, but the whole collection is available to platinum patrons. Apart from if you are a Bakery Bear patron on Christmas Eve, on any level, whether it be bronze, radio show listener, right the way up to platinum, you get the very first, it's the very last.
Yes, you'll get the Advent design pattern.
You get the Advent design.
Yes.
So everyone gets that design.
Everyone will get it, yeah.
So, we're always, since day one, we've always tried to do more for the same. And the other thing, just to say, is we've never, in 10 years, we've never increased our charges.
No, that's right.
I doubt there's very many businesses that are around that do that.
I think we all wish that they hadn't increased their prices.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. So, yes, we always try and do more, and that's the reason why on Christmas Eve, as a special sort of Christmas gift from us. And, of course, as I'm sure you all know, one of the things that we do for our patrons is we produce extra content. So there's tutorials and special events and all of those things. Bakery Bear's Advent Calendar coming up. It's available to Bakery Bear patrons. And also you produce, and Jen as well, and me sometimes, we do reviews. Yeah. And one of your latest reviews is the C-Knits review, the needles. Yeah. And here's a little look at it.
Hi everybody, I am here today to have a little look at these double pointed needles. This is a brand that was new to me. I hadn't heard of this particular brand, so I wanted to give them a go. I think it's pronounced Seek-Knit. It's a Japanese brand. I got 2 sizes. I got a 3.25mm and 2.5mm because these are the sizes that I use for sock knitting. So I'd use 2.5 for fingering and 3.25 for DK. And these are 6-inch. So let's just look at the 3.25mm first of all, because I've actually knit a whole sock using these needles. They've got a really lovely tapered tip, quite pointy, surprisingly pointy for wooden needles. The bamboo is beautifully smooth. Oh my goodness, I didn't find a single snag on there at all. They are very sharp. Honestly, that quite hurts doing that. They are very sharp. That could be a positive, or if you don't like that, it could be a slight negative, couldn't it? It really just is down to personal preference. The thing that I wasn't keen on was they are really flexible. Can you see that?
So that gives you just a little bit of an idea on what it is to be a Bakery Bear patron, and hopefully as well it answers the question that, yes, some patterns aren't available to purchase, but the reason why they're not is so that we're all here together and producing the show.
Absolutely, yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, you're quite correct, yeah.
Went up on one.
It's good sometimes because just putting context to things, isn't it?
We find it difficult, don't we? Because
we do find it difficult talking about it, because we're English.
Yeah, but also as well, if we talk about it too much, then but then if we don't talk about it enough, then there's some people who are like, what's going on? It's difficult,
to get that balance,
So,
but back to the cowl, I'm knitting this on 3.25mm, which is my, I really love.
What size are those, Kay? Do you know the...
No, I don't know the US size. I'm hopeless remembering that. It's written on your needles. It's written on your needles, honey. If it was written on, I would tell you. I know that a 4mm is a US 6, so I don't know what that one, but I don't know. So let's think. If a 4.5 was a 7, so that means I'm going down in numbers, doesn't it? So what will 3.25 be?
I think
a 4
3.25 is a 3.
A 3, are you sure?
Yeah, because it says so on these needles here. This needle says 3.25.
Oh, you're using 3.25.
Yeah, and it says 3.
It's a 3.
Yeah.
There you go. You're getting all of the information.
All the info
It's a size 3
from
needle.
the people in the know.
You know, the funny thing about all these differences with terminology is in England back in the day when my mum was knitting, we did have numbers for the needle sizes, but they weren't the same as the numbers like the US numbers. They're not the same at all.
So
So it's like, because my mum will sometimes say, oh, I'm knitting those on a number 10 or whatever. And I'm like, oh, what's a number 10?
That's massive, Kate.
Well, it's not. It's not because they were all different. UK knitters of my age, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm almost finished. I've nearly finished this gorgeous sort of deep golden colour here. And then I do another pink stripe. And then I do that last one that I showed you. And then I do the rib. So not far off finished. And I can't wait to block it because the pattern sort of is sucking it in a little bit. And when I've blocked it, it will pull it out like this. Oh, it's just going to be lovely.
Yeah.
Can't wait to block it.
Well done, you.
Well, thank you very much.
I was very impressed.
I
when
love
saw that
colour.
yesterday.
I love colour and I
Me
love
too.
playing with colour and just, this is just all the things for me. I absolutely love it. Yeah.
Well, my pick of the projects
Oh, right.
follows a very similar colour sort
does.
of thread. Ooh,
Right.
ooh, look, I sound like Michael Portillo. Colour thread.
Colour
thread. Come on.
Why do you sound like Michael Portillo?
Because that's the type of pun he would make. Thread.
Oh, he does like his
Coloured
puns,
thread.
doesn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is my pick of the projects, and it's my pick of the projects because the bigger this gets, the more I sort of look at it and I just think, how did I do that?
I know. Bryony said that, didn't she?
It is completely spectacular. It's the Roosty tank top, and I've gone off-piste because had I followed the pattern, I would already have been onto armholes. But I'm doing an extra repeat because we wanted a bit more length. So I'm nearly through that extra repeat, which is
Excellent.
really good. And then I'll be into the armhole bit, which is actually carrying on knitting it anyway.
Because it's steeked, isn't it?
It is steeked.
steeked?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. What's so cool about this pattern is it's really well written, it's really clear, it's really easy to follow, which makes then the complexity of the knitting, which is quite high, actually really straightforward.
Look at it.
So it doesn't feel difficult. And I think that's a really clever pattern.
Yeah.
Because you would assume
glorious,
that this
isn't
would
it?
feel challenging to knit, and
You
it really
would.
doesn't.
Yeah, you would. Absolutely.
And
It's so beautiful.
the lightness of the yarn is amazing.
Yes,
Doesn't it feel light?
Yes, it's very light, isn't it? It's the, what is it?
It's Jameson and Smith.
Is it Jameson and Smith or Jameson's? Because it's two different things.
Well, Jameson's is a very nice. Oh, that's a
Oh,
lot.
that's a Lopi. Why have you got a Lopi label in there? Oh my gosh, it's a disaster in your bag.
I've got no
It's
tickets.
Jameson and Smith, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
it
You
is,
don't
yeah.
have any tickets.
Oh,
Oh, hang on. No, that's...
Oh,
You've got another needle in there. What's
it's a
that?
3.25.
Here we go. Jameson and Smith.
There we go.
2-ply jumper weight.
We got there in the end.
Yeah, so it's 100% pure Shetland wool. It comes in 25 gram balls and you get 115 metres per ball. So that's the lightness, isn't it? You're getting 115 metres for 25 grams. And it's like a fingering weight, I suppose, isn't
Yeah.
it? Or they call it jumper weight. So I suppose it's 4-ply finger. You know, it's about a 4-ply. And the colours, I changed all of the colours. So, yeah, I can't remember the exact colour shades and Dan doesn't have the ball bands. But anyway... It's all of these beautiful colours. So it's shades of brown and pink. There's a red in there and a cream. Gorgeous.
Just wonderful.
It is.
I mean, I love every bit of knitting this. It's so much fun, and the only thing that's bothering us slightly is it's wide.
It's really big. It's really big. What size did we choose? Or what size
310 stitches I cast on,
Right, 310.
which did seem a lot.
Well, it is a lot because it's...
But 268 was the size down from that.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Where's the start of
But
the
anyway,
pattern?
let's...
Right, so it's the third size. I'm interested now. It's size 3, which is for a 41-inch chest. So that would give me a little, a couple of inches of ease. So that's why I've gone for that, because the next one down is 35.5. So, I mean, that's why I've gone for that size, because in theory that will be the right size.
Right.
So we shall see. Sometimes you can't tell, can you, until it's off the needles and everything. So we'll see anyway, but it's beautiful.
Whatever happens, I'm happy.
Yes.
Because it's just been the most wonderful process to go through.
Even if it's boxy and oversized, when it's a tank top, that doesn't really matter, does it? Because there'll be a shirt underneath it.
This is oversized on her.
It does look a bit oversized, doesn't it, on her?
So I think that's the design.
Yeah, I mean, it does. The armholes look very tight, though, don't they?
They won't be on this one.
No, well, hopefully they won't be, but they do look tight there. Lovely.
Cool. So that's my pick of the projects.
Very nice.
So that means it's time for us to find out, Kay Jones, what's off your needles?
Yay, I have 2 spooky things.
Amazing.
Off my needles. So the first spooky thing on this Halloween day is a pair of Beetlejuice mitts.
Wow.
So this is a pattern that I put out maybe a month ago now, something like that. And at the time I was working up a size large, and I finished those now. So these are going to go to a family member for a gift for Christmas. She's got a bigger hand, and she very much likes the kind of witchy, spooky vibes. So I'm hoping that she'll enjoy these. But yeah, this is the size large. I'll pop it on my hand just so that you can see. I mean, it is too big for me, but so you can see there's quite a lot of positive ease there, and the thumb is a bit too long and what have you, but it just gives you an idea on the sort of sizing. Don't they look cool? Bryony's got Bryony has a pair exactly the same that she constantly wears in uni, and she wears the size small, so these ones are a large. So I just used basically the green was just out of my stash. It was a mini out of my stash. The purple is Yarn Smith's sock weight. What's it called, that? Merino sock, is it? I think this is lavender. And then the black is Cascade Heritage, and the cream is Cascade Heritage. I think it's Snow and something like Pure Black or True Black or something like that. But yeah, they're all finished. So if you're in a spooky mood, then you can go ahead and, get this pattern if you want to. Knit yourself some Beetlejuice mitts.
And if the family member who's getting those is watching...
Oh, yes, she might be.
Then you've got something to look forward to for
Christmas now. She knows who she is if she's watching. She will have been going, oh, is that me? I think that might be me. Oh, gosh, if you don't want those, just tell me. I won't be offended. Okay. Right, so my second finished thing is my Sockoween socks. Woo. We haven't even spoken about Sockoween yet, have we? So we will do so now. So yeah, I finished my Sockoween socks. They're all done, aren't they lovely? So I just knit a plain vanilla pair of socks using 3x2 designs in Hocus Pocus, and the heels were the mini skein from that set. So I've actually got all of this left over, look, loads left over. So plenty for a pair of fingerless mitts is what I'm thinking. So I think I'll maybe stash this away and pull it out next Halloween season and make Bryony some fingerless mitts. But yeah, they're all finished, and these will be for Bryony actually as a Christmas gift. So I, like I said, a plain vanilla 64 stitches. I just did 12 rounds of 2x2 rib, and then I think I did 40 rounds on the leg, and then just knit down to the toe. So we've got an umbrella toe and a butterfly heel.
Beautiful.
Which just looks perfect, I think.
The heel is gorgeous, actually, and the colour, the contrast
colour,
is...
I know, that purple.
Absolutely.
Is everything. And this yarn base is the super sparkly one, which is 10% stellina, and I'm going to be talking about that in Endy Bits, so
amazing. Stick
around, because I've got some fun yarn things to talk about.
Isn't that what we've been doing the whole show, Kate?
I know. I meant undyed yarn.
Okay.
Makes it sound not very interesting.
That sounds fun, doesn't it?
No.
Undyed yarn.
It's not very interesting.
Stick around as we talk about undyed yarn.
No, you will want to stick around because it's very exciting what I'm going to show you. So you will want to, I promise. It's not as boring as it sounds.
We shall find out, won't we?
Yes.
Are you all done?
So 2 spooky Halloween projects finished. I'm
amazing.
Thrilled with that.
Well done.
And both Christmas presents.
Cool. Right, this is it. My goodness, it's time for the final part of the story of Holy Island. Oh, I will miss it.
I know. We were talking about going back.
We've got to try and get back, but it's expensive.
It's really, honestly, where we stayed in a little place that was only 1 bedroom, and it was, quite affordable. But if we go back with Bryony, we'd need somewhere bigger.
Well, we might just need to. It might just need to be a place for you and me.
We might just have to go back to the same place, just me and Dan, for a few days, maybe next year.
Yeah, because it is, nice. As you've seen, the most spectacular place.
Yeah, it'd be nice to go and just
and not work.
Yeah, and not work. Yeah.
So let's go back now for one final visit and an end of season drink, and then the huge reveal. Oh my goodness!
Yes.
What are we doing next year? Let's find out. Welcome back, everyone, to my story of Holy Island. And we've had a gorgeous lunch.
We have.
It's been delicious. Particularly enjoyed the beetroot.
Did I rave too much about the beetroot pickle?
I did. I loved it. It's a perfect spot. And the weather, it's a really funny... The weather's been interesting because
it really
one
has.
minute it's warm, but then most of the time it's cold.
It's been, really quite chilly. So you just never know what to put on.
Yes.
It's very
Bonkers.
changeable. Yeah.
I think I've only had off my body warmer just a couple of times through the series. I mean, just crazy. I would never have expected it at this time of year.
No, not this time of year. No, you would expect it to be super warm. But I think because it's an island off the mainland, which I suppose we are also an island, it just gets wind, it seems to, from every direction, doesn't it? Yeah.
So we've got a really exciting final half of the series because this place has been used loads for filming.
Yes.
So we're going to have a walk around and we're going to try and find some of the filming locations from all over the island. But also, as well, we're going to visit the oldest building on the island anywhere, and it's still in use, which is so exciting when you consider that we've been to the Priory and we've been to the castle, and this place that we're going to in this half, it was built before all of that and it's still in use, so that's going to be really fun. And will you meet us later on St Cuthbert's Beach for maybe an end of series drink?
I think I can do that.
That would be marvellous. And if you could source us something lovely to toast the end of the series with, that would be great.
Do that.
So look, I'm going to get up and get cracking. Thank you so much for this gorgeous
You're very, very welcome.
lunch. And I will see you later on for a lovely drink.
I'll see you later.
Right, we're off for one final explore of the series. And this time we're going to keep our eyes open for any locations that have been used in films and TV shows over the years. And there's actually loads to see. And we're also going to visit St Mary's Church, built by the Anglo-Saxons. So, we've discovered so far in this episode that the island today exists thanks to the tourism industry. 650,000 people from all over the world visit the island every year. Whilst that is a huge amount of people, even when it's busy, you can always find areas of peace and solitude. The seclusion is particularly evident when the island is cut off, when the tide is in. And that's probably one of the reasons why film crews have been here, really for the last 50 years, making some really famous movies. It all started with a Roman Polanski thriller in 1966 called Cul-de-sac. Sam Neill was here in 1980 filming Omen 3. And if you've seen The Railway Man, with Colin Firth and Nicole Kidman, then this beach will be familiar to you. Because at the start of the 2013 movie The Railway Man, Colin Firth and Nicole Kidman can be seen on this beach having a play around on the water's edge. Even Time Team has filmed here. And in case you were wondering, it's Series 8, Episode 10. And this was where they were doing their dig. Because behind me once stood, it was round about the time of Captain Rugg up at the castle. This was a supply depot for the naval ships which used to sometimes come into the harbour here. Back there was all the things that was needed to supply a ship, so everything from ammunition to food, and that included beer. They actually did the dig literally behind that wall, and they found 2 great big circular cooking areas where they used to make the beer. And then all along here, this actually used to be the line of where the sea used to come up to. There was an inlet that used to come to here. It was separated off by a shingle beach just over there. And this bit here, boats could get right up to this wall. And you can actually see, if you come with me up here, you get a real idea here of the size of this building. It used to be really quite grand. Obviously, it had to be big because it was holding an awful lot of military equipment. But blocks that size just don't appear on what looks like, doesn't it, a normal garden wall.
Television has continued to be a regular visitor. The hit crime drama Vera has used the island for one of its key locations for the last 14 years.
Behind me lies Snook House, and ahead of me actually lies Snook Tower. That was once a fisherman's cottage, and the tower was a watchtower. They're private homes today, but if you think that house looks familiar, it's because in the TV series Vera, it's used as the home of Vera herself, played so well by the brilliant Brenda Blethyn. And to bring you right up to date, Cillian Murphy and Ray Fiennes were here at the lime kilns on Lindisfarne filming I think it's coming out this summer, it's the Danny Boyle sequel to 28 Days Later. It's 28 years later. This was one of their key locations for the zombie apocalypse movie. What I think that tells us is that Lindisfarne really draws people in. First, it was Urien and his Romano-British warriors. Then it was Aidan and his first monks. The Vikings then appeared on the scene until the Benedictines returned and brought the monks back. And then with prime ministers and royalty, as we get closer to the modern age, it really has been A-listers, and especially now when you consider that Hollywood people are coming here to film movies, this is a place that has a very special vibe. But what's it like to actually live here? I think we should have an explore of the village and see if we can find out.
Whilst life is now supported by the tourism industry, the 150 people who live here do try to keep the old traditions alive. On the first day of the year, the men of the island form into small groups and seek to visit every house where a drink is shared with their host. On the second day, the women decked in baubles and tinsels do exactly the same. A thriving winery exists on the island, producing, among other things, Lindisfarne mead.
There are 2 pubs, 2 cafes, and lots of lovely places to stay. And at the heart of this thriving community, there's a church, which was built before the Benedictine Priory, which we explored earlier in the series. It is, I'm told, a really enchanting place, and I think it's high time that we got inside and had a little look.
Welcome everyone to St Mary's Church. The history books will tell you that it was built by the Normans around 1180 AD, but locals will tell you all they did was renovate something that was already here. The first clue is this long nave. It's way too long for a normal Norman church, but its layout absolutely reflects that of the Anglo-Saxons.
The second clue lies in the wall that separates the nave from the chancel. Just take a look at this.
As we look up the wall, we see an entranceway filled in at some point in history, but archaeologists will tell you that that is a perfect example of an Anglo-Saxon arch. It points to the fact that this church was not a new build by the Normans, but it was in fact a renovation of the Anglo-Saxon original.
Whilst we can't know for certain, it seems really beyond a doubt that we're walking through at least the footprint of a church that was built by those very first monks of Lindisfarne, because on this site there was once a wooden building, and it would have been constructed round about the time that the Lindisfarne Gospels themselves were actually written. It is a completely spectacular place. We know that this building was completed 845 years ago, and it's been in constant use since then. But if this was the original Anglo-Saxon church, that means that people have been coming here to worship for 1,275 years. That's pretty astounding, isn't it?
This is, you will be pleased to hear, still a very active church, popular with the locals and visitors alike, and weddings are particularly sought after here. There's an island tradition I must share with you to do with those weddings, but before that, there's one more huge clue that this might just be an Anglo-Saxon church.
It is in fact the presence of coin stones. They're the big masonry blocks that you find on the corner of really impressive buildings. And if we look up here in the walls of the church, we can find some that have been dated to the Anglo-Saxon period.
And here they are. Now, we'll never know for sure, but it's highly likely that these worn Saxon stones, which date exactly from the Golden Age of Northumbria, may have been used to surround Aiden's first wooden church. There would certainly be no reason to remove them, and every reason to use them once again.
Enchanting, isn't it? Now, there's one last thing to see, and it concerns those weddings I mentioned earlier. Tradition dictates when the bride and groom leave the church directly after the wedding that the bride has to jump the petting stone.
This is it, and my goodness, it really is quite large. That's because this once held up an enormous cross in the original Anglo-Saxon monastery. So how does the bride get over this? Well, she's helped by the 2 oldest men who live on the island, and it's considered good luck if she clears it in one go.
What a perfect way to end the series. After 1,300 years, those first pioneering monks of Lindisfarne still find a way to impact the island's residents. But what am I saying? We do still have one more port of call, because my wonderful wife Kay has arranged to meet us on the beach for a little drink to celebrate the end of the series. Hello, stranger. It's our own little rap.
Fancy meeting you here.
I know. It's our own little rap party. My goodness.
Yes, I've had time for a quick change of trousers.
Because it's warm, isn't it?
The
And
legs-
sunny.
Yeah. Is it a dipper? Is that what they're called?
Is what a
No,
dipper?
wagtail.
Wagtail.
Oh, crumbs, I'm terrible. So we're back on our favourite beach.
Yeah.
The beach has appeared a couple of times in the series. It's St Cuthbert's Beach, and it's the place where you can find St Cuthbert's beads.
We didn't find any.
No.
I must admit, when I looked at what they look like, I thought they would look more bead-like.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what quite I was expecting.
But
They're almost black as well, very dark grey.
Yeah.
And do kind of look just like a piece of metal,
Yeah, it
kind
does.
of.
It's very strange.
Very strange things,
Yeah.
but no, we didn't find any. Hey-ho.
We're in the perfect spot, though, to sort of finish off the series, because right in front of us is St Cuthbert's Island.
Yeah.
Over to our left is the place where King Urien died.
Yeah.
And then behind us, literally just up the hill, is the priory, and then the church,
Yeah.
and then Lindisfarne itself. It's all here, isn't it? Yeah. I mean,
I love this. This is definitely my favourite spot on the island, I would say.
yeah.
We've been to this beach a few times, haven't we?
It's very tranquil.
And the tide's right in now.
So you brought something to celebrate the end of the series,
Yes, I
haven't you?
have.
Yes.
Shall I get it out?
This is a very special beer that we picked
Beer.
up.
We've brought a beer.
Well, I thought it was, we thought it was an opportune. Oh yes, and I have
It's lovely and chilled.
in my pocket.
Yeah, we have brought a bottle opener.
I have the facilities to
and we've
open
even
the top.
brought glasses.
It's a
We've
local
come
beer.
fully equipped.
It's a local beer from the Alnwick Brewery, and Alnwick is of course Alnwick Castle,
Yep.
and it's just down the road.
It's Alnwick IPA, traditional Indian Pale Ale. What does it say about it? It says, characterised by its light amber colour, its floral hop aroma and refreshing bitter finish. So we shall see.
I'll grab
oh
that.
no, pick that
I'll
up.
grab that. You pour away.
Okay, I have to get the other glass
won't.
out.
I'll get the glass. I shall get that lid in a minute. And
Oh, it is a nice colour.
we bought this locally, actually. We got it from...
We did.
The
Where did we
mead-
get?
it-
oh
it-
yeah,
it's the
we got it
place-
from Lindisfarne Mead.
Yeah, we didn't fancy having
We didn't
any
fancy
mead.
mead. Mead, if you don't know, is it's a alcoholic drink that's brewed from honey that the monks used to make.
Yeah.
Is that right? Shall I? You need to go on the tilt, don't you, to avoid? No,
Oh, no,
the
it-
other doesn't not matter. I don't want too big a head. That's how you do it,
I mean,
don't
to
you?
be fair,
tilt
it
your
is,
glass.
it is quite fizzy. I'll hold on to that glass.
That's nearly all of it.
Nearly all of it.
Oh,
Cheers.
it's a lovely colour.
What a series. Yes.
Cheers. It looks like something my dad would have drunk.
My goodness, that takes me back
Oh,
to working at
that's
the
very
pub
lovely.
in Tadcaster. There was a Sam Smith's IPA.
Oh, did it taste like that?
It literally tasted. In fact, I would say
It is quite florally, actually.
it reminds me of a pint of mild.
A pint of mild.
Yeah,
Is that not an old-fashioned thing?
it is, but it is a particular type of beer.
Right.
Which
It's such a beautiful colour. It's very nice. So what would you say has been your highlights of this series, I should say?
There's a lot to go at, there really is. I think that the Priory, getting in the Priory and having a really good look around, that was amazing. But St Mary's Church beats the Priory for me. I thought that Gertrude Jekyll's garden was
gorgeous.
Completely mind-blowing.
And it was so weird because there was hordes and hordes of people walking up to the castle, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And every time I looked out of the window from the castle across to the garden, there was not a single person going in it. Don't you want to go and see those lovely flowers? But I don't think they did.
No. Completely gorgeous. And the wonderful thing about that garden is it's open constantly. So you can go any time you like.
Yeah, when the castle's not open, because I would say one of the strangest things to get used to with being here is the way that everything is controlled by the tides.
Yeah.
So, like now, it's high tide, so we're cut off from the mainland. You can't get across the causeway right now. But that happens twice a day. So, for a good chunk of the sort of daylight hours, it's cut off.
Yeah.
So businesses are just not open. You do have to sort of work your agenda around the tide times.
Yeah. The highlight for me, though, of this series has definitely been understanding more about the Vikings, because the Vikings are poor. I mean, when I say Viking to you, what do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah. What does that say to you?
Well, I guess what I used to think, I suppose, before being educated a bit by you, was sort of, the helmets and the axes and the long ships and then raiding and all of that. That's the sort of image that you have, isn't it? Which I know is very not
They don't come across
reality.
as particularly nice people, do they?
No, I guess not.
So to come here and to delve into their story and to understand that actually all they were doing was they were being invaded by Christians over in Scandinavia. So they were striking back and getting revenge over here on the Anglo-Saxons of Britain. So understanding that they weren't just bloodthirsty, typically sort of Hollywood villains, but then also as well understanding how many things the Vikings have left behind, because I had no idea until we did this series that earls still exist to this day.
Yeah.
They're jarls.
Jarls.
The earl is a derivation of the word jarl. And the other highlight for me, ladies and gentlemen, is, of course, Kay, because she's been a trooper this week.
Oh, gosh, don't.
She's been filming like an absolute demon.
It's hard work. Credit to you. It's not easy.
This has been, without doubt, the hardest work series we've ever done.
Yeah.
But it's been the most pleasurable to film because of the landscapes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's been quite challenging as well in terms of the wind. I mean, you wouldn't know right now because it is really quite calm, but for most of the time it's windy, and that just makes sort of filming difficult. It makes flying the drone difficult.
It's audio that is most challenging.
The audio.
Audio becomes really challenging.
Yeah, but I mean, I would say my most favourite thing has been the colours of everything.
Yeah.
Every minute I've been saying to you, haven't I? Look at the colour of the sea there.
Yeah.
Look at the colour of the sky. Look at the colour of the pebbles. And it is amazing. The light is just
spectacular.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, and it's all thanks to the sea. And I think that's what makes Lindisfarne so special. I think that what has drawn people to here over the years is because it's attached and then it's not attached.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for helping me make this series.
That's okay.
And thank you all so much for watching. It's been...
I hope you enjoyed it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's been the most enjoyable series for me that we've ever done. The research, but then also coming somewhere and being able to stick a camera in any direction. And get great footage.
I've got some amazing photos as well.
Yes.
Really, it really is a photographer's dream and an artist's dream, I would imagine as well.
It is.
So, there's inspiration literally around every corner.
Yeah. So I think there's only one thing left for us to do, and that is to thank you all so much for joining us for this wonderful series. Cheers to you. And cheers to all of you.
Absolutely.
And we will see you next year with something even more exciting.
Yeah.
In 1825, the very first passenger rail journey set out from this very location.
200 years on, it's time for us to hit the tracks to see if the golden age of rail travel is still with us.
We'll be taking you to 5 spectacular cities all across Great Britain to see what they've got to offer. We'll stay in a hotel and give you a full review. Then we'll head out to the best local attraction and show you around.
In this series, we'll take you to the University Quarter in Oxford.
We'll visit the bright lights of Manchester and take in a show.
We'll walk along the Mall to Buckingham Palace in London.
But the series starts on the 16th of January 2026 with a spectacular weekend in Edinburgh.
This is going to be quite the adventure.
Welcome to Weekends in the City.
Yes! The moment has come to get that A-team back out on the road.
Are you
This
excited?
is going to be spectacular. It's a whole new type of show. This is a proper travel show. Hotels. Kay'll be taking a dust glove with her.
I will be checking the state of the room.
We will be, hopefully finding some great hotels that you could potentially go stay in, letting you know how much it costs,
Yeah.
what the food's like,
Yeah.
but then heading out into brand new locations for us and discovering everything that there is in that wonderful place that we've gone to visit. And what an exceptional place to start, Edinburgh.
I know.
A place where I have spent 25 minutes.
And I've spent 0
Yes,
minutes.
yes.
I've never been, and Dan's been there for 25 minutes.
Yes, I was walking
So-
from one station to another. I'm not completely insane.
He just went and thought, no,
I'm not
turned
staying
around
there.
and
No,
left.
that wasn't it. That wasn't it at all. I
Yeah,
was
just
just-
walking from Waverley to Haymarket
Yeah,
or something.
I was en route somewhere else, and it's some years ago. So it's going to be a voyage of brand new discoveries for us, and a series which is going to take us the length of the country.
It is, so that's what we're doing. Starting at the top,
Yeah.
working our way down.
And on the
Yeah.
train.
On the train. We're probably insane going to Edinburgh in January, but, we're brave souls, aren't we? We've got all of the knitwear.
We certainly
so
do.
We'll be fine.
So yes,
Yeah.
hope you're excited about that. We're unbelievably excited
know.
about that.
It's
And that's
gonna be
just
very
one.
fun.
That's one of
One of the series.
3 huge series that are coming your way next year.
Yes.
Superb.
Yes.
So yes, that's the
Let
end.
us know what you think in the comments. Tell us.
Please do, please do. So yes, that is the end of the story of Holy Island, and just loved every second of it.
Yeah.
Like we said at the end there, it was a wonderful thing for us to do together. We'd never worked quite, that way before, and that the place is spectacular. So if you get the chance to go,
Yeah,
go.
and we went in May, at the end of May, and it was actually a perfect time of year. It wasn't hot. It was cool enough to sort of wear a hat some days,
Yeah.
because it's an island.
Yeah.
And it was just lovely,
Yeah.
Beautiful place, yeah.
Now, there'll be plenty of you thinking, what happens next, though? Because there's another show in 2 weeks' time. Well, the excitement continues because last year we debuted our winter walks, should I say. It was a winter walk then. It's about to become winter walks. Because, yes, our Winter Walk series is back.
Yeah.
And we're going to take you on a trip down memory lane for us both as we explore the locations that were the sort of catalyst to us becoming us.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Which is pretty cool. And it's all within like a sort of 2-3 mile radius. So we're going to take you for a lovely walk down memory lane, also explore some lovely historical places too along the way, which is going to be amazing. And that winter walk is going to be with you when we see you next time. So that's really exciting as well.
Very exciting.
Right now, though, it's time for the Endy Bits.
Endy Bits!
So, we mentioned last time, and Kay's mentioned as well.
Jelly Roll January. So yes, we're going to be having a knit along in January for all things Jelly Roll. And last time I spoke about Row 1 yarns and the very kind contribution, if you like, to that knit along from Row 1 yarns. So this time, what I've got to show you actually is similar. It's a similar sort of idea, but it's from a dyer here in the UK. So Row One Yarns, Laura, is in the US. This particular dyer is in the UK, and I'd spotted this a few times on Instagram, people using these minis over the past few months, and I decided to go and buy one of the clubs. So the difference with this club is that you just buy that month. You know, it's not a continual thing like Row One Yarn is a continual rolling club. This one you just buy that month, and then if you want the next one, you go and buy the next month. So I went and bought one, and then Alina, who is the maker and creator behind this club, contacted me and said, you know, can I send you a couple of others, you know, for you to use? So I said, by all means, you can do that. So that's what she did very kindly, and I've got them here. So
these prizes?
Yes. Yeah. So one of these is for me, the one that I purchased, and then the other two that she sent me I'll be using for prizes for our Jelly Roll January. So this particular maker is called the Wellington Yarn Club. They come in these lovely pink drawstring bags. And similarly to Row One Yarns, inside here you get, I believe there's 10, I'm pretty sure there's 10, little 10 gram minis that are all wound and labelled and ready to go. So I've got, in this one, oh you just saw that, didn't you? It's Knotted by Niche, which is a dye that I hadn't heard of. So I'll just pull out a few of them just to show you. Lovely coloured yarns actually. Wildfire, Sunset and Cavern. So these are all wound and ready to go. So I will be keeping one of these. So we've got Knotted by Niche, and then we've got Pixie Yarn. How funny. I opened this up and I'm like, oh, okay. I know Pixie Yarn, but some of these colourways I don't have. So yeah, we've got Pixie Yarn there, look. Beautiful colours. And then the third one, these are gorgeous. And I have heard of this dyer. Look at these colours. And you see they're all like beautiful pastels. Whoops. Oh, well done. Dan caught it. Yeah, they're beautiful pastels. And these are from Wildflower Yarn. Look at that one. I mean, it might be this one that I keep actually, because they're just gorgeous. So yeah, I will be keeping one of these because I did buy one, and then the other two I'll be using as prizes. So we'll have, so far, that means I've got 3 sort of physical prizes. There'll be 2 of these lovely bags from Wellington, and then at the moment there's one more from Row One. If I get any more from Laura as like extras, then I'll be including those as well. So that's all very exciting, isn't it?
Is this the moment, Kate?
Yes, this is the moment.
I hope you've prepared yourself.
Have you prepared yourself?
You've waited the whole show
for seeing some completely undyed yarn.
Kate promised us that this would be exciting.
Why are you showing me this yarn?
Okay, we need comments in the... Out of 10, how interesting is this section?
How interesting is this?
Yeah, with 10 being the most interesting and 1 being the least.
No,
okay.
I think it's going to be about a 7.
Okay, here we go.
Right, so I've got 2 undyed yarns to show you, right? Because when I knitted those socks from 3x3 Designs, right, that base, I was like, oh my gosh, this sparkle is insane. Can I get that base? And I checked on the supplier that I use. And guess what? So yes, they did have the base. At the time, it was out of stock, so I just kept my eye on it until it came back in stock, and it did, and I've got some here, and I'll show you. But then, I've seen around recently in a couple of places another new base that's definitely new to me. I'd never heard of it, and it's a lace weight brushed merino. And I was like, oh, I'm going to see if I can get that. And lo and behold, the same supplier that I used also had that base, so I've got that as well, and it's, wait till I show you. But the first one is the sparkly base, and I'll take one out of the pack. So this is the super sparkly base. So this one is 75% superwash merino, and it's an extra fine merino. It's 19.5 microns, 15% nylon and 10% silver stellina. So let's just take one out. It always smells really woolly and sheepy when you open it up. Oh, and it does
look good.
It does look good. Now, sparkle doesn't often transfer to the screen. So this is where it's going to be completely uninteresting because I'm just holding up bare yarn. I have no idea if you can see any of the sparkle, but it is really sparkly. Sparkle tends to show up more against like darker colours, you know, that's why it looks so good on that spooky colourway. So yeah, I've got some of those skeins to play with, but also, and I'm going to tell you the purpose, well, I'm going to not exactly tell you the purpose, but I will hint at it. But this is the brushed merino, right? I've sort of twisted these into skeins because when it first came, it wasn't in skeins. And the bag was like this big and there's only 5 in here. So I'll pull one out. Oh my gosh, So this, as I said, it's a superwash extra fine merino. It's 80% superwash extra fine merino and 20% nylon. It's a lace weight and you get 600 meters per 100 grams. And this is one skein.
That's insane.
This is absolutely insane. It's enormous, first of all. And it's honestly the softest. So if you are, you know, if you're not a very good mohair person and alpaca person, then this, let me tell you, is just like the softest, fluffiest thing ever. It's just gorgeous. Look at it. So I'm actually planning. I'm not going to tell you what my series is next year yet. But I'm planning on using these within that series. It won't be the key feature of it. It won't be the main focus. But I am planning on, I'm going to trial it first of all, but I am planning on using these somewhere within that series because it's just so lovely not to, isn't it? You've got super fluffy lace weight merino and super sparkly merino. I'm sorry, but we've got to give that a go. So I think that is quite interesting. I don't think that's a 1 or a 2 in interest. I think that's a bit higher than that, definitely. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Very exciting.
Imagine a hat in this brushed merino, held double or something.
You wouldn't need to dye it.
Well, you wouldn't need to dye it. No, I don't really wear really pale colours very well. I'm more of a darker colour, so absolutely gorgeous. Very excited to be playing around with that over the next couple of weeks.
So our Sockoween has now come to an end today?
Sockoween, yes, it's the last day of, well, yeah, it's officially the last day of Sockoween, but we're giving it a day or 2 more just to get final entries in. But yeah, that's the end of Sockoween for another year. So
it's been a wonderful month there was a gorgeous tutorial series with Kay, the Spooky Kooky Socks, which is always there to watch actually, but the Spooky Kooky series with Kay, and I've actually got a pair of them on.
Oh, you say you have?
I do. They're my go-to socks now. DK weight.
Yeah, you really
Spooky
like
Kooky
DK.
design.
Yeah,
boom. They're perfect. So we'll be drawing prizes and telling.
We will.
And when are we doing prizes?
Yeah, well, I'm going to close the sort of Ravelry thread and we're getting entries in other ways as well on, I believe it's the 2nd or the 3rd of November.
Right.
And then I'll pull for the winners at that point. So what we said for our prizes this year, we were going to have 2 pattern prizes. So 2 people will win my crochet jelly roll pattern. And then one other person will get their Patreon subscription fees refunded for 1 month. Yeah, so we will draw all those and we'll inform the people and deal with that on about the 2nd or 3rd. Yeah.
Now, while Sockoween is coming to an end, we've got some great tutorials and reviews coming your way right the way through November. Every Tuesday and Thursday, there's always something new published. Kay is updating her 2-stitch gap closing technique when you're knitting heel flap and gusset socks.
Right.
We've already mentioned the See Knits review, which is on the way.
Yeah.
Jen Keeler, who edits Knitability for us, our magazine, she's got a brand new yarn review coming later this month, and I have some more self-contained knitter.
Wow.
Oh yes. And actually,
so much.
Every month we publish it's like a TV guide that tells you what's coming through the month, and that's always published on the last day of the month, which is today, isn't it?
Well, like the Knitty Times.
Yes.
As it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's always published on the last day of the month, and it's open for anyone to see, and you can see exactly what's coming up right the way through the next month. Crumbs, I've just suddenly thought we're going to have to do one for December, and we didn't do one last. No, that's crazy.
Is that crazy?
Well, it's every day.
Yeah.
I don't think we need a TV guide.
I don't think we need a TV guide when it's every day, yeah.
No,
And we are, within the next 2 weeks as well, we've got a very busy 2 weeks because we are going on location to film our Advent calendar.
Amazing. Come on.
Yes.
So, yes, that is it. Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks,
And
everybody.
we'll be back in 2 weeks with a brand new episode featuring
fun trick-or-treating.
a wonderful winter walks.
Yes.
We'll see you then.
See you soon, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Sitting and knitting, standing
Do you want to see what that is?
Well, I'm presuming it's somebody cleaning the windows.
What an outstanding history for such a small place. The one remaining
They're throwing their sofa out the window.
Oh, you're kidding. I need to see.
Can we have a biscuit and a drink?
Yeah, sure.
I'll just stop this camera and...
All the excitement. I'll put it in the outtakes. Neighbours getting a new sofa.
Then, of course, came the Benedictines. And then... No, sorry. Tradition dictates that the bridegroom... No, the bride...